So let's take question number 22. Two newspapers A and B are published in a city. It is known that 25% of the city population, let's underline this point, 25% of the city population reads A, while 20% reads B, while 8% it is reading both A and B. So this is data about newspaper reading. Further, 30% of those who read A but not B look into advertisements, and 40% of those who read B but not A also look into advertisement, while 50% of those who read both A and B look into advertisements. The percentage of the population who look into advertisements is, so let's understand how we are going to draw Venn diagram for it. Let's take the universal set first. Draw the two sets for newspaper A and B. Right now, question says 8% reading both. Right? How many are reading A? It is 25%, while B it is 20%. 25% meaning this is 17 and this is 12. This is clear? Next, it is given that 30% of those who read A but not B look into the advertisement, meaning 30% of this 17%. So let's start it. 30% of 17%, that means you are talking about 5.1. Next, it is given that 40% of B but not A, meaning 40% of 12%, that is giving you 4.8. Right? Next, 50% of both A and B, meaning 50% of 8. So 8 into 0.5 giving you 4. So this was about the data. If you add these three, you can see 5 plus 4 plus 4, 13. So total is 13.9. Let's see from the given options. 13.9, that is option number 1 is the correct answer. So I'm sure this question is clear how we solve using Venn diagram. Let's move on to the next one. A water tank has the shape of an inverted right circular cone whose semi-vertical angle is tan inverse half. Water is poured into it at a constant rate of 5 cubic meter per minute, then the rate in meter per minute at which the level of water is rising at the instant when the depth of water in the tank is 10 meters. I'm sure this is quite easy and clear to you. Let's start after making the figure for the same. So let's draw inverted cone like this, right? Now you can also draw the base in this fashion, correct? Let's draw the vertical line joining with vertex. Okay, you can draw a dotted line just to show that level of water in this way, correct? So here you can fill some water, right? Okay, let's say R be the radius and H be the height. This R you can say at any instant here as well as here, so it's increasing basically. Now the question says volume is 1 by 3 pi R square H. We have the result with us, this angle say alpha given by tan alpha is equal to half. Correct? We can say R by H is half. R by H is half. Now we can see here R is equal to H by 2. Therefore, volume is pi by 3 multiplied with H cube by 4. Differentiating, dV by dt is equal to pi h square by 4 into dH by dt, right? dV by dt is given to me 5. So let's write here 5 is equal to pi by 4 into 100, because we are looking when height is 10, into dH by dt. So question was asking for dH by dt. Therefore, dH by dt is equal to, so you can see this 20 will cancel it 5 times, so it is 1 upon 5 pi. So this is the required rate of change of height with time, 1 upon 5 pi. So the correct answer is option number 4. I'm sure this is clear. Let's move on to the next one, that is question number 24. The value of the integral 0 to 1 x cot inverse 1 minus x square plus x4 dx. Option 1. You can deal here itself, as you can change this cot inverse to tan inverse and then some integration operation plant, or what you can do is put x square is equal to t. So integral becomes 0 to 1. Here on differentiating it, you have 2x dx is equal to dt. So x dx is dt by 2. So let's write here half. Now x dx becomes dt, cot inverse 1 minus t plus t square dt, right? Change it to tan inverse now. Half 0 to 1 tan inverse. Denominator has 1 minus t plus t square, or you can see 1 plus t square into t, or take minus common with t. So you have t into 1 minus t in bracket. Either way you can read it, because the objective is you have to split it into 2. In denominator you have 1 minus xy, numerator should have x plus y, meaning t plus 1 minus t, it is there. So let's write down into dt. I'm sure this is clear. So this is half integral 0 to 1 tan inverse t dt plus 0 to 1 tan inverse 1 minus t dt. You can put it in a bracket so that half is outside both. Now for the second integral, if you apply the property f of a minus x, just see what the change we are getting. Half integral 0 to 1 tan inverse t dt plus, when you put here for t 1 minus t, you find it is also changing to 0 to 1 tan inverse t dt. So you can see it is 2 tan inverse t now. 2 is cancelled with half, so simple result is integral 0 to 1 tan inverse t dt. Just integrate to get the result, t tan inverse t within the limit 0 to 1 minus integral t upon 1 plus t square dt. I'm sure this is clear. This gives us pi by 4 minus, here you need to multiply and divide with 2 so that you can read it half log 1 plus t square 0 to 1. So the final result is pi by 4 minus half log 2. Let's check out from the given options. Pi by 4 minus half log 2, that is option number 4 is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next one, that is question number 25.